A very good evening to you and welcome to another edition of Hot Seat. I'm Nicola D'Souza, and on the hot seat today I have with me the winner of the Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016 pageant, the beautiful, the gorgeous Sabina Thorsen. Welcome, Sabina.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being here.
The Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016 pageant is organized by the France-Sri Lanka Welfare Association, and I had the pleasure of hosting it, which was held in October in Paris in France. Now tell me, Sabina, how has your journey been so far after winning the coveted title?
Wow, it's been amazing. Like back in Denmark, after winning the competition, there wasn't a lot going on. But then the Sri Lankan France Welfare Association contacted me and say, you need to come to Sri Lanka in the Christmas holidays. And I was like so nervous, but still so happy going, and I was so ready to doing all of these also these charities and this event that was coming up. So I was really looking forward, and now I'm here.
So what responsibilities have you had to take on as the title holder?
As the title holder, as you said, the Sri Lankan France Welfare Association is based on kidney and cancer patients, so they basically help kidney and cancer patients. That means that they have some products that I need to deliver to the patients, and I'm very grateful for helping people. So yes, then I also have to I was honored to be the Sanfo Youth Goodwill Ambassador for Europe. That means that I have to promote the Sri Lankan culture and tourism for Europe, and I have a lot of ideas coming up.
Good, that's nice. What specific projects are you involved in? Is there anything that's already underway, or anything you've completed so far?
I'm actually in 2 days going to the kidney hospital in Kandy. There I'm going to help some patients, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've done some events I was what can you say? I was being honored by being Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016. I was at the Independence Square, this beautiful Christmas event, and done a lot of interviews and so on.
Nice. So as the title holder of Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016, you are also an ambassador for the Sri Lanka United Nations Friendship Organization.
Yes.
So what work do you hope to achieve in this role?
Wow. As Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016, and I'm 17, having that big title really can bring me upward, helping Sri Lanka to get even better, because Sri Lanka is a beautiful country, but we still have a lot to do to increase the tourism development. And I will definitely do that, because we have some things in Europe that we do that I will inform Sri Lanka about. How do we do in Europe? And in my opinion, in my situation, Denmark, of course. So I will definitely inform Sri Lanka, how can we make Sri Lanka even better? So yes, that's my main project.
So the beauty pageant is one that brings together Sri Lankans from other European countries to contest for the title. So there were 15 countries that took part, and 10 contestants, I think.
Yes.
What was it like competing with these contestants? What was the anticipation building up backstage, and how was it interacting with all these people from different countries?
Wow, I remember everything went so fast. In 2 weeks, my mother got the phone call, and the Sri Lankan Welfare Association called me and told me that I have to be in this competition. And I was so nervous, because it was my first beauty pageant ever. So I found my gown, my evening gown, and then we took to Paris and meeting all of these contestants. Wow, everyone was beautiful in every way. One have a beautiful voice, some have beautiful figure, everything like that. So I met people that I weren't used to meet. We all have some sort of the same thing in us, being Sri Lankan, of course. So therefore it was really, really, really fun, and we know what we were doing. So meeting all of these people was really, really once in a lifetime, and I have them for all my life now.
So what made you want to take part in this competition, and now that you won it, what do you feel about it?
I remember that when I was going down to, when I was flying to Paris, I was like, I will not set expectations. I will just enjoy this because it's so unbelievable being in a beauty pageant than seeing it on TV. So I was like, I need to just enjoy this, and I definitely did every single second. So that. My mother, she was like, come on Sabine, you are so beautiful, share it with the world. And I was like, but how? And then all of a sudden she found this like beautiful event, there was Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016, and she immediately called them and said, can my daughter be in? And I was like, mother, there's 2 weeks to the event ends. And she was like, no, we'll keep trying. And I was like, okay. And all of a sudden, I had to go to Paris. And then I can't remember what I was thinking, because I was just thinking about enjoying this moment. So I wasn't expecting winning or anything. I was just like, I want to enjoy this. I just want to like remember this for the rest of my life. And I definitely did.
So everything happened so fast, but everything happened for the best.
Yes, really, really.
And with that, we go in for a short commercial break. Do stay with us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the hot seat. I'm here with Sabina Thorsen. Sabina, what is it that you do in Denmark? Are you studying or working? And what is it that you like? Do you do any projects? Are you involved in any projects in Denmark at the moment?
Actually, right now I'm not involved in any projects, because my mother is living in Denmark, and my mother is Sri Lankan. My father is Danish, and he's also living in Denmark. Therefore, I'm now living in Denmark, and I'm actually studying high school first year. So I'm studying like international business with marketing and a lot about the society, and that I feel like it's really, really important to me to study, because what I'm doing now I can definitely use back to my studies. So I'm living in Denmark now.
What are your ambitions and plans for the future? What do you aspire to be?
To be strong and independent. I do not see anything wrong being an independent woman. So yes, and maybe have my own business. I definitely would like to do that, because my family was always like, had always been like a business family. We always have like some business in us, so why not keep doing that?
So what differences do you see between Denmark and Sri Lanka, like the citizens and the environment, the people? What's it like?
Wow, there's a big change. You can just tell that, or not only Denmark but also Europe, there's a big difference. Sri Lanka is more like, not to be rude, but things are not like well organized. But I will definitely do my best to like do. Sri Lanka is getting there really, really quickly. I can really, really tell. Sri Lanka is getting better and better and better. So maybe they will be better than Europe. Yeah, Denmark, things are more like calm. Sri Lanka is always like, we are on it, and that just makes me happy, because Sri Lanka is always like ready for a competition. Yes, so. And Sri Lanka is more, the weather is warmer. I like that. And Denmark, we actually have winter now, so it's quite cold.
And this is not the first time you've been to Sri Lanka, right?
No.
Okay. In what ways do you think you can help Sri Lanka develop as a country? Because you're now an international citizen, and you're a title holder of this beauty pageant. So there are a lot of things you can do for Sri Lanka, for the benefit of Sri Lanka. What sort of things do you think you would want to do in the near future?
Yes, not only having the title as Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016, I also have the title of being Son for Youth Goodwill Ambassador for Europe. That means again that I have to promote Sri Lanka, and I will definitely do that. But to promote Sri Lanka, we have to do some small changes. For example, cleaning the beach out. How can we make it easier to travel in Sri Lanka? Seeing a lot of things in Sri Lanka, and what are the main attractive places we have here in Sri Lanka. So I will definitely, before do this big project, I would like try to organize these things out, because after that the Sri Lankan tourism will definitely increase when it's a lot smoother, the country is smoother made.
That's right. You spoke about travel and tourism in Sri Lanka. While you were here, during your many visits to Sri Lanka, what places have you traveled to, and what's your favorite place in Sri Lanka to go to for a vacation?
For a vacation, I actually like the history of Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So I will say Anuradhapura.
Oh, nice.
I really love that, because the temples, like every single temple has its own history, and I love that. I love the fact that it's so old, but we still have that incredible history going on. And I see the tourism in Anuradhapura is definitely increasing. So that's like my favorite place in Sri Lanka. But I also like the beach side, of course. It's beautiful, nearby Negombo and like that. And I also like Colombo, like this big city, of course. So I've been I haven't been in the north in Sri Lanka, but I've been traveling a lot in Sri Lanka, and I love it. I love it every time. I never get tired of Sri Lanka.
If you meet someone who for the first time is hearing about Sri Lanka, or that you're Sri Lankan, what would you tell them to make them want to come to Sri Lanka, like to get a flight and come to Sri Lanka the next day? How would you introduce Sri Lanka to a foreign person?
I will tell what this country delivers to the customers. Like, being a traveler is really hard to why should I go to this country? So I will tell the history of Sri Lanka, the history that we have, and after example the war, how much things have changed for good. And I will definitely show pictures, of course, of the beaches, for example. And a lot of people like to see palm trees, actually, because when they see palm tree, they see vacation. So that myself, I also do. So I will for the first tell the history and where to go, the main top attractions for tourism. So yes.
Sabina, what is your favorite holiday destination?
Sri Lanka, of course.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it is actually, because every time we are looking for traveling, we always pick Sri Lanka, because I have also family here.
Yeah,
so it's nice to go celebrating now this time Christmas with my family is so nice, and I feel so relaxed in Sri Lanka. So yes, of course I like Denmark too, but Sri Lanka is my main holiday point.
Would you ever consider moving back to Sri Lanka and living here, maybe working here, living here? Would you consider that, or
right now? Yes, right now I am not seeing myself living in Sri Lanka, but I can, because now I have big plans because again, having the title as Youth Goodwill Ambassador for Europe, that means that I have to be in Europe and spread these things out to Sri Lanka. So of course, maybe when I get older, I will definitely come back to Sri Lanka, because I love Sri Lanka so much.
Okay, I'm in conversation with Sabina Thorsen, and we'll be back after a commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Hot Seat. I'm here with Sabina Thorsen, the title holder of the Miss Sri Lanka in Europe 2016 competition. So Sabina, tell me, you've come a long way since preparing for the competition, winning the competition, and coming to Sri Lanka to do your various projects. Tell me, who has been your stronghold throughout it all? Who has helped you get this far?
Definitely my mother, of course, but beside my mother being my role model, the Sri Lankan France Welfare Association also set up a really good events, and also my personal photographer, Sagara Maldimel. He also set up a beautiful event and really made sure that I will get published. So yes, they all did an incredible good job, and my mother always being my little sidekicker. She's come on, you can do it. And yes, so I really love them all.
So you have a really close relationship with your mom?
Yes, really. My mother isn't just my mother, she's my best friend and sister, and all in one package. So she she knows me so good. Like, she knows when I've had enough, or when I can keep on being pushed on, and when I've reached my destination. So she knows me like inside out.
Well, most of us girls feel that way about our moms.
Yes.
Sabina, what do you think about women's rights and the empowerment of women in the international as well as the national stage?
Women have the right to be heard. To be heard. And if I can, like, what can you say, like, tell out to the world that you have the right, I would definitely say that women should definitely say what they feel. Just say it out loud, because I know also too that having all this like mention of hurt in yourself really can damage yourself. But instead of just keeping it all to yourself, just let it out. So women should be heard. That's important.
And I'm sure it gets pretty hectic when you're on the road and going for all these interviews, and when you get called up for modeling by modeling agencies. What do you like to do for leisure? And like, if you want to relax, what do you want to do for leisure during your free time? And what are your hobbies?
Here in Sri Lanka, we live nearby the sea, so what I do is like going out, staring at the beach, hearing the water. Is like so relaxing, because Sri Lanka, wow, the beaches are amazing here. I really love them so much, really. And yes, in Denmark, my hobbies were still are like playing soccer and horseback riding and so on.
Nice.
So I've actually played soccer all my life almost, so I love that still, but now I have so much else to focus on. But yes, when I find time to relax, here in Sri Lanka on this trip, it's really important to just, for me, the best place is the beach.
Okay, so you love your sports. Are you a fan of cricket? Because you know Sri Lanka is very famous for cricket.
Oh, my whole family loves cricket. I also do. Of course, cricket is like the national sport. I love cricket, and Sri Lanka, oh my God, they're really good at it. Really.
Okay, I have to ask you, what is your favorite cuisine? Like, I'm sure you've tried food from all over the world and Sri Lanka as well. So, what's your favorite of all that you've tried?
Actually, it is still Sri Lankan food, because I've eaten Sri Lankan food since I was like baby. Actually, my mother put Sri Lankan food, gave me Sri Lankan food. So I love Sri Lankan food because there are so many different types. Like, you have spicy, you have non-spicy, you have the different rice types, and wow, there's so many. And I feel like eating Sri Lankan food, it keeps on changing. It's not the same every single time. So I love Sri Lankan food. Okay. Definitely.
Sabina, what advice can you give to the young ladies out there who wish to make a change in the world?
Oh wow, as Walt Disney once said, if you can dream it, you can do it. And it is true. I was as little dreaming being miss in some sort of, and now I'm Miss. So go out, do your research, of course it's important, and just keep on going, because it's important. Do not stop at some point, but if it ends up hurting you, it is time to stop. But definitely just dream it. If you can dream it again, do it. Really, it's important to just show you out. Embrace yourself, it's important.
As a Sri Lankan living in Denmark, what can you tell Sri Lankans about Denmark?
Stay in Sri Lanka. No, because it's so cold in Denmark, so definitely that is a big change, that going to a colder place from a warmer place. But it's different coming from a cold place to a warmer place. But no, I will say that if you come to Denmark, definitely enjoy the stay in Denmark, because Denmark also have a lot of history. We have like the royal family and so on. There's not so many countries back in the world having a royal family, so definitely do a lot of sightseeing. Yes, and just enjoy just as much as I enjoy Sri Lanka and love it so much.
Well, it was lovely having you with us, Sabina. Thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you good luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
And with that, we wrap up today's edition of Hot Seat. We'll be back next time. I'm Nicola de Zoiza.